Thank you for joining me today, guys. It's Shauna J. Ray with Raising Bosses. Today I have Nakisha Wynn. And how are you today, Nakisha?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad we've had some scheduling issues, but I'm so glad you took time out for me today because I know you're a busy boss mom.
I am, and so are you. And I have no
Oh,
problem finding time for other busy boss moms.
I know you have kept your promise to me because I know when we met almost a year ago.
I know. Oh my God, it's been that long.
Yes, almost a year ago, you told me to just let me know. And I'm not even gonna lie right now, I have been so nervous to ask you. I like revamped everything. I switched over to, what is it, Blogger? You told me to move over to WordPress. I was like, I have to have everything set up before I talk to her because
What?
I'm gonna look so
Why
terrible.
were you so nervous to ask me? I told you to just reach out to me. You
Because
know,
it's that
seriously,
whole
you were.
fangirling. It's the whole fangirling. I mean, for me, you're huge.
People tell me this, but I'm like, listen, I'm probably the coolest blogger you will meet.
I love it. Yes, you are. You are.
Listen,
You
I'm
made
not
my, you
because
high.
in my mind, I'm like, y'all think I'm girl when I blow.
And that's why we get along. Cause I remember, I just want to give y'all a backstory. We met at a blogging event and it was epic. And she sat down next to me. And she was just kikiing with me the whole time. And I was like, she is too funny. I'm trying to concentrate, but she's so funny and so accurate. And we start making jokes together. It was so much fun. Made my day. Made my day. And so I'm so glad I could actually, talk to you and you took time and things like that. So I'm going to try. I have a bunch of lists of stuff that I wanted to ask and we get this started. Could you just tell me and your listener and my listeners a little bit more about yourself just to give the heads up there?
Absolutely. My name is Nakisha Wynn, and I'm a content creator and video strategist at nakishawynn.com, where I absolutely love helping moms to pursue the life they really want. Because, oftentimes we get stuck in this place where we're living a life that people expect us to live, and we have dreams that we often put aside because we feel we had to because we had kids. So I'm going to be that person to tell you, listen, sis, if I can do it with 4 kids and get out here and build a business, you can go and pursue your dream of acting, singing, business, whatever it is. So I'm going to be your cheerleader behind the scenes to help you get to where you really want to be.
Oh my gosh, you just embodied everything that I figured out I wanted so recently. I'm
Yes.
always now figuring this out because I was a young mom,
Yeah.
really young, didn't know what I was going, wanted to do whatever, and like now I'm the same way. It's like, can I help you? What do you need help with? What are you starting to start? Like I'm always like, start YouTube, let's blog, you know what I mean? What do you want to do? I'm that
Yeah.
person. I actually want to start consulting people because I realized I'm giving away a lot of my information for free, and not in this type of way, not in a good type of like podcast and video chat, things like that. It's like, oh, you asked me a question and then it's like, this is 1,000 ways you could do it and how,
Yeah.
start yourself
Yeah.
together. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to get that part monetized. I'm
Yeah,
tired of
and
giving away.
you will get it but you know what? I was actually just talking to my friend yesterday. There was a girl, and she's a single mom like me. We have very similar situations, and she was going through a rough time, and she wanted to start on YouTube, and she was blogging. And you know me, I'm like, before you step to me, I actually just published a video on this similar thing yesterday. Before you come talking about, can you help me? Help you with what? You better have it already up. You better have something to show me that you are making steps and that you are taking action before you come wasting my 5 minutes
You did tell
talking
me
about, can
that.
I help you?
You told me something similar at the thing. You said, "Are you growing? Are you building?" And I was like, "I am." I started to hear you like, "Okay, I got you." I was like, "Oh my god, yes, thank you."
Because
It's true.
listen, you have to weed the people that are serious out, because people
Exactly.
will how to you to death, okay, if you allow them to. And
And they
they're not
don't.
even ready. They're not even serious.
That part. That's the part that gets me. I don't mind giving the information, but my problem is when they don't take action or they halfway their action. And it's like the honest thing about it is the people that have taken my instruction and heeded my instruction have grown. And so I know that I have value. And the fact that people see my growth and ask me shows me I have value. And a lot of people get that gray area. And my thing was like, I didn't know how to start, and I've been looking into it, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure this out as I go by. But I'm done telling people and then they're not doing anything. So you're wasting my breath. That's my problem. I don't mind when my friends come to me. And like you said, I want to weed them out. So if you're willing to pay me for my time, which is very valuable, because everybody tell me, you do this and do that. You know, we both in the same boat. We do everything under the sun. We all
Say it.
hands in everything.
Say it, baby. You got to make them have some skin in the game. Like right now, I have a group called YouTube with Intention. It's the mastermind, and so I have girls in there, and I'm showing them how to build their YouTube channels, because it can be hard doing it by yourself. I know it can be hard,
Literally.
when you don't know how to come up with ideas, or just you don't know what to do. So I have girls in there, and I have one girl who has not even started her channel yet, and I'm like, listen, you paid money to be up in here, so I'm not going to kick you in the butt and force you to do this stuff. I'm giving you the lessons. These are the instructions. Everyone is following along. I'm gonna need you to
Can I
do
get her
it, or you're
login?
gonna waste your money. But I don't mind helping her, because she got skin in the game. She paid.
Exactly. And that's, I'm not gonna lie, because my time becoming a influencer, a content creator, my time is so precious. I multitask everything. Everybody's always like, how do you do this? How do you read this? How do you do? And I'm like, I find a way to do two things at once. If I'm riding in the car, I'm reading a book. If I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, YouTube is my thing. I told you, I binge watch everything. If I know how to do it, it's because I sat there for a week straight and watched it. And it's like, and figured it out. But I'm not going to pay money. I don't understand. Maybe it's just me. I don't understand paying money. I try to do it the free way to make sure I can get it started. So I hate when people want to start a YouTube channel. I'm actually working with my niece on this. I'm going to have a podcast up after this one talking about building with children and how do you call it? Showing them the way and helping them get the way so that they can monetize their talents. So
Yes.
I'm all for that or whatever. So I want I hate when people say, I don't know where to start and I don't have this, that, and the equipment. And it's like, if you get the equipment now and you don't know what to do, you're not going to start anyway. So you just wasted money.
Absolutely.
That's my biggest
Absolutely.
thing. And I tell people, I don't know if I told you, my sister is huge on Instagram and she's pretty big on YouTube. And she started on her phone. She's the reason I started back. And she told me one day, she was like, I want you to join me in this lucrative, like doing the same thing. You want to do it. You did it before. And I was like, you know what? That same day I pulled out my iPhone 5. Do you know who what's
Guess
her
who's
name?
vlogging right now?
I love it. Oh, you got me on her head.
On a phone.
That's right. I got, my daughter has that that selfie stick.
People
and
be
I have a different
playing,
one.
like talking about they don't have do you have a phone?
Everyone
well,
has
then you
a
have
and
every-
then my niece has not an iPhone. She has a the Samsung, the 9 or whatever. I said, if you have a better phone than I did when I started, and Hazel Goddess on YouTube, she still records on her 6, and me and her were pregnant together, and I knew her when she started at 3,000 followers. When I first was like, that's when I started trying to get back into it, and I was lackadaisical about it. She ran with it. She still records on her iPhone. No, I think it's like a 7 or an 8 now. 3 years in the game, she's hundreds of followers in.
Yep.
But you worried about lighting and phones and all this nonsense.
Do you know Jessica Tosh? She has she records on her iPhone. Still to this day records. She just bought a brand new iPhone. She was recording on like a 7.
It's cheaper.
And she just got a new one. And she says she prefers recording on her iPhone.
It's simpler. It's simple. And I get it. I actually do all of the above. I have 2 cameras and I use my phone. But the quality, for me, I love the quality and I could get it. So, but the thing is I told myself, if I don't start with what I have.
Absolutely.
I literally told my niece this the other day, short story. When I started saying, I recorded on the computer that my job gave me at the time, with my first channel. And then I lost that job and lost the computer. So my husband, he kept hearing me talk about it. He went out and bought me a nice little camera. I mean, this is like 2000 and, I don't know, like 13 or whatever. Bought me a decent little camera. And he bought me a decent little camera, and I never started recording on the camera he specifically bought me to start. So after a year, I would just take cute pictures of my kids. And after a year, the thing broke out of nowhere. So I still never used it to
Oh my
record.
God.
So, and then I ended up starting on my phone. So I always tell people, it's like, y'all always want to rush and think y'all need to do everything at once. It's all or nothing. And y'all have to get out of that mentality. It's never
Yeah.
all or nothing. The
Yeah.
Slight Edge was a huge breaking book for me, and our breaking point book for me, even though I already knew it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
people don't understand. You got to
It's
start.
like it makes it just so much more complicated. Pull out your phone and do what you got to do. Period.
That's another.
Girl, listen, I
That's
tell
another
people
thing.
I ran my entire blog
Off your
from
phone.
my phone. My phone got, I mean, my computer, my daughter, when she was little, stepped on the top of my laptop and cracked the screen, bust the screen open, girl. I could not afford to go and get another laptop. I really just could not. Do you know I had to run my entire blog from my cell phone for months until I got another computer. I had WordPress right on my phone. I would sit there, do the blog post from there. I'm talking, do everything.
My first few months in YouTube. That was my first few months of YouTube. With the iPhone 5, that was my first few videos. And I couldn't even, my husband had a computer. I had the computer I have now, but it was broken. I had to get it fixed. I used my husband's computer to do anything I needed to actually computer for. Everything else was on my phone. Record it, edit it. Everybody's like,
Yes.
well, what do I get a window and your iPhone?
Yes.
Like, stop making excuses. And then like you said, the complications people don't understand. With more equipment comes more complicated endeavors and things that you're going to do. It doesn't just like, oh, you have this nice camera and now your video is perfect. Yeah. I'm still getting it together.
Yeah, girl, listen, I have a camera, lights, phone, all that. And my editing's still trash.
All of the above, like, you don't just, people think that you spend all this money on something and then you're perfect at it. No, I spent practice. Weeks binge watching videos on stuff to learn how to use it.
Yes.
And they just kill me. And I'm like, so let me tell you something. I have lights. I have 2 ring lights. I have studio lights. And I don't use half of them. I use my little BS little 5 foot tall ring light.
Yep.
And a window. Yep. But I got all the fixings. I got 2 cameras. I don't like to use both of them. It's a lot of work.
It is. And especially figuring out the settings and all that other crap. It's just so much easier to use your phone. But people think that having this stuff makes them look more professional, or that for some way it'll make them look better. No, honey. You don't need to be worrying about that. You need to worry. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, I was just
need to worry about just getting the content out there. Worry about producing, staying consistent, sharing your message, building, growing your audience, getting money. There's so much other stuff to be worried about, except for worrying about what equipment you have. You know, you got people out here making several $1,000s a month on a phone. On a phone.
We just named 2.
Okay. Girl,
they take care of all their kids with their iPhone on YouTube.
Girl,
that's all they have
with an iPhone.
But it's so funny. It's like I tell people that all the time. Like, they don't want to listen. That's one of my biggest things. But it's like, you're not even gonna start. It's a procrastination. I forget what it's called, but it's like a justification to procrastinate, basically.
Yes.
And I think I wrote a blog post on that. It's like, we keep telling ourselves, well, when I get this. So first it's when I get the new camera. So you get the camera, you don't do nothing. Oh, well, when I get the lighting, because the lighting is bad. Nope. My first light, I bought a $10 light bulb, daylight bulb. And I had a flexi lampshade thing. And I just used that for like the first 5 videos. I went to a pawn shop, got a $100 camera, moved on. That was my upgrade.
Yeah.
Y'all need to stop with the foolishness. I'm sorry. We done bashed everybody. Are y'all ready to start yet? We done bashed everybody. Are y'all good? Nakisha got it. She got masterminds for us. I'm trying to get homegirls log in. But tell me, would you be able to tell me about more about your business and your content, or like your multiple businesses, so your blog and your content on your
Yes, so I provide resources for work-at-home moms that want to start an online business. I truly believe that every mom should have the opportunity to be at home and actively raise her children if that's what she chooses to do. When I was working and I had an incident with my daughter at a daycare, and I just decided daycares just are not for me, I literally had to figure out how I was going to survive. You know what I mean? I wasn't willing to put my kids back into a daycare just because I saw with my own eyes them being neglected with my own eyes, right? And so I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I had depleted my savings after months of just living off of my savings. I had to figure that out. So what I currently do is provide moms with resources and tips on ways how they can start using their interests, their passions, their hobbies, and turning those into a side hustle, basically to be able to generate up to $1,000 a month from a side hustle. Now, once they craft that side hustle and they get good at making $1,000 a month, then I show you how to boss up your side hustle. So now we're talking taking that thing from side hustle to business to where you're making a couple of $1,000s a month to sustain your family. And I feel like it's just been instrumental for women. It really has been instrumental. I have one client who she was literally just braiding hair on the side randomly on the weekends for people in her neighborhood. And I showed her how to get on YouTube, start showing other people how to do these styles that you're doing in these girls' hair, and start building that YouTube platform so you can have some passive income coming in from the YouTube ads. And so once we got her on YouTube, and then I started showing her, listen, you can create a vault of content on how to do several styles and sell a membership to it. So I basically teach you how to take your passions and your hobbies and create multiple streams of income from those passions and those hobbies that you have.
See, that's the same with me. That's the same with me. I'm the same way with that. And I always tell people, monetize. I mean, I'm probably to the point where it's annoying because I'm always like, oh, you could do that? People would pay for that. Monetize it. I know they're sick of me. But if you
Yes.
pay me, maybe you won't be sick of me from me telling you.
Listen, if you just do it, then I won't have to tell you so many times, and then both of us will be happy, okay? You know?
And I'm the type of person, I keep telling people, I was like, y'all know, it don't have to make me money for me to be happy for you or for me to push you to want to make money or want to do better or, be a better be better at something. So like, regardless if you're paying me, I'm rooting for you.
That's right. Absolutely. Why wouldn't I? I want to. I want to see us all win because there's so much money out here to get, and people have no clue that it's there for the taking. It's like, why wouldn't I just help you? Like starting the mastermind that I just started for YouTube, it has really given me, just so much satisfaction to just watch these women finally create these channels that they've always wanted to create. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people look up to YouTubers. They see people, literally changing their lives from YouTube, and people want to do it, but oftentimes they don't know how, or it's hard to do on their own, or they just need the help. So it's really been just really a blessing for them. And I'm so happy because that's all I want to do is just help people get to their next level in their life. That's it.
That's the same with me. I love it. That's why we connected so well that day because I'm the same way with it. Would you mind telling me a little bit about what you were doing before you actually started influencing and content creating?
Absolutely. So I have been in banking most of my life. I was working at an investment banking firm when the incident happened with my daughter at the daycare, and I decided to cold turkey quit my job. I was just like, you know what? I'm not doing this. My daughter's life is much more important than your $60,000 or whatever you were paying me. So I up and quit. Like literally, I was just like, I'm done, because the visual of seeing my daughter, how I saw her was just ingrained in my mind. It was just burned in my mind, and I just couldn't get over it. And so I walked away from my job of doing banking for a very long time. Probably like 8 or 9 years I was in banking. I really did love it. You have to be that type of person though. It's very structured, banking is. And me, I always knew that I'm a creative person. I'm a talkative person. I just love networking, and I just love all this stuff. And so I knew that one day I would make that leap. And it's so funny that it took a situation like that to force me to leave corporate America. Now, once I left corporate America though, I stayed out for a few months with my kids, and then I went and became a pre-K teacher. So I was teaching VPK. Yes, I was teaching VPK for 4 hours every morning. I would bring my kids to the daycare with me. It really was a perfect setup until one of my daughters had a situation there that I didn't like again. And so I was like, okay, God, you got to be telling me something. This is the second time I've had incident with my children in a daycare. What are you trying to tell me? Once again, I left my job cold turkey, and it's been 3 years and I haven't looked back.
I'm literally shook right now. My mouth is open, everything. I know you see that. Like, that is like the best reason. Like, if you look up the definition, what a good mom, hardworking mom, caring mom. I just saw your picture. She said I up and left listen, in the middle of the day, it was lunchtime. I was like, you know what, I'm not coming back.
Literally, I went to do a pop-in at their daycare during my lunch break and found my daughter with her entire head wrapped in a blanket, red as can be, like she could have stopped breathing at any moment, red, sweating, and I just couldn't unsee that. I couldn't unsee that. Thank God she was okay, but it was burned in my brain.
No wonder. I was hoping it was just like, it was just like a little bit too many kids in the room and you saw something. But like, that's intense.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is
And to me, no job is just worth
Nope.
my child. No
Nope.
job.
People don't understand. Like, I'd have people say, oh, why don't you get a better job? Because my work at home job doesn't pay like miraculously, but it helps me pay the bills, take care of my kids. You know what I mean? I don't have
It's
to worry about
consistent income.
exactly. So I'm not gonna exactly. So I'm not gonna go out of my way. Like even working overtime for my job, it's like that's what I could be recording, hanging out with my kids. That's why my schedule is the way it is. Like, I do everything. So how can I be longer with my kids? That was the whole reason I came home in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so much to it. And people don't realize, or like they have money, dollar signs in their eyes. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's fine. But why do you have dollar signs to make other people money and you get a small percentage when you could be out here pressing and bossing up, like you said? Because I have, everybody's like, how do you do? How do you do? And I'm like, I want to make the money so I don't have to do this.
Right. Exactly.
I'm not going to throw it away though.
Just like I tell people, just like you get up every day and you choose to go to your job, I that's not how, to me, this is my mind. $60,000 is $60,000. And I'm just using that amount just for example. $60,000 at your job, that you have to get up and slay that and be away from your kids and make all these sacrifices
Can't
that
make
I'm
any
not
more.
willing to make. I can still get that $60,000 in multiple different forms of streams of income, though. But guess what? That $60,000 is still the same $60,000, no matter how I get it. You know, if I have to do ship, drive, Uber, blog, do YouTube, have a part-time work at home job, sell stuff on Poshmark, whatever it is I have to do to get that same amount of money, it's still the same thing. It's the same thing. Your sacrifices are just different from mine. I'm not willing to sacrifice my motherhood in order to get it. I would much rather be present and actively raise my children and get my money in a different way. So just because I'm not going to a 9-to-5, it doesn't mean anything. I am still doing what I gotta do, taking care of my family. You know what I'm saying? And then scale back. A lot of times people, they just want the money to put on for people who could care less about them. Okay, I have no problem with reducing my expenses, driving my paid off car, living somewhere that I actually can afford, not trying to keep up with the Joneses. I'm willing to make some sacrifices. I feel like I live a really, really good life, but I'm not out here buying Chanel, you know, but I'm okay with that, you know, because I'm with my kids. I'm not dropping them with strangers. No one is abusing them. They're good. And I'm picking them up and dropping them off every single day
Yep.
and doing my job as a
I
mom.
love seeing those posts of you walking the kids to school and stuff like that. The funny thing is that was like my biggest thing is when I had my oldest daughter, when she was like 2 or 3, I got this job. I was away from the house, no less than 10 minutes, 10 hours a day. I was dropping her off at daycare. The daycare was great. I was one of those lucky few people that she had a good daycare. But that's the far and few between. This one has not seen daycare, so I understand. And she was at daycare. Actually, she didn't go to daycare until she was 3. Her grandmother and her father watched her before that, but she went to daycare. And I remember always coming home 6, 7 o'clock and being like, "Okay, it's time to get ready for bed." I was like, I have 2 hours to spend with my child, and then I have to go wake up in the morning, drop her off 6 o'clock in the morning, and run off to work for 10 more hours. And it's like that bothered me. So when this one was born and I was home already, I was like so thankful. I was like, I actually get to raise her, be
Yes.
with her. It's so
Yeah.
much better. I didn't know my oldest child at this age. It's like, were you doing these things? I think I heard somebody say you did.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And those are not sacrifices that I was just willing to make. I chose a different route, and that's okay. And I feel like I'm reaping the benefits of those decisions
All day.
now, and I'm building something that will outlast, you know what I mean, a job, because my YouTube videos are sitting there just making me money while we're having this conversation.
I am constantly, let me go on a rant, please, about passive income. I just ranted to my 12-year-old niece the other day. I told her, I said, the problem is with monetization or with making money is people want to know how to make money hourly in 24 hours. I said, you'll never cap. You run yourself ragged. I said, make sure you are producing something that makes you passive income. Maybe makes you a lump sum at once and whatever. Because I was explaining to her, I got paid for a video. I was able to affiliate market the product on Amazon. The people have been buying it on top of the fact that it's made me money and views on YouTube. I said I did the work for an hour one time. I consistently get purchases on Amazon. I consistently get views and rack up the whatchamacallit on YouTube. So I'm trying to explain to her that because unfortunately she's being told, she's an artist, she's amazing. I always post her stuff on my Instagram, but she's being told that there's no money in art. And so what I'm striving to do, I know my face, I was like, wait, hold on. My thing was, I said, do you watch TV? Do you wear clothes? Do you live in a house? And she was like, I said, guess what an architect does? They made the house, the art of the house. They structured it. This is art. And people don't realize how deep art goes. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to make sure she understands. Don't worry about if there's money in it. When you're 12, you don't have no bills.
Yeah.
I hate
Hello.
when people tell Kill, this is the whole reason. This is not the first time I've seen somebody do this to a child, but it's the whole reason why I wanted to make the next podcast that I'm going to do. And I actually have a question for you about that as well. But I am tired of people telling elementary school, middle school age children that they need to worry about money. They don't. Worry about building your talent. Worry about figuring that out now. When you get older, when you get more into it, let's figure out how to monetize it,
Yes.
to structure it
Yes.
around you,
I
to
agree.
structure it around what you are good
You
at.
love. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Absolutely. I agree.
I don't know if you watch this person called this guy on YouTube called Jeff Rose. He's a financial
Yeah, I've heard of him.
I love him. He did a video with one of the artists from Pixar. I think it was Pixar. I always say Pixar. I think it was Pixar. He started drawing online on YouTube, drawing his pictures of things that people asked him to do just for fun, and realized he was making money from the views. So then he was like, okay. So one day somebody talked him into making a course out of it, made a course out of it. He said he quit Pixar because he made what he would have made in like 3 months in a day.
Wow.
And we talking years now later, and it's like I try to explain that to her because he's talking about when YouTube first got monetization. He started it. So I try to tell my niece, it's like you have to figure out what works for you. Maybe it's YouTube. Maybe it's this. You know what I'm saying? You have to be exposed to it, because obviously you woke up one day and you could draw for some reason. That's not normal. That's not a
Not.
thing. She just
It's
woke up and
not.
was like, I can draw today. That's not how any of this works. So obviously you were given this talent for a reason. So like we have to make sure we learn how to monetize ourselves in whatever way it is. And my thing is like, you could do hair all day, but if you're not making the videos, you're going to be doing hair all day.
Thank you.
You could do this thing, but you don't have a product that's going to constantly sell on a Shopify.
That's right.
You're going to constantly be working hour to hour, and that's like the biggest thing that stopped me from doing my fashion design. It's like I don't have the time.
Yeah. 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 I always tell people, I think it's so important to decide what you want your life to look like, right? So if you think about it, and for me, when I think about the women that I just really look up to and admire and just really love their empires that they've built, and they are not at anybody's 9 to 5 selling time for money. That's not what they're doing.
I don't think anybody heard you. I don't think they heard you. Nobody heard that part because I could think of about a dozen.
The people that I look up to, they didn't get to where they are by being at someone's 9 to 5. Most of the people I look up to own their own business, have their own empires, have real estate on the back working for them, have passive income streams that are consistently paying them royalties.
Streams.
Multiple streams.
Of passive income.
Not a 9 to 5. And so when I thought about that thing, I'm like, what would my life look like if I just decided to do the same thing? What would my life look like? And I am pretty darn happy with the way it's going. I am pretty darn happy with the fact that if I just continue going the way I am, eventually my kids and I are going to be exactly where I see us. We're going to be on our nice farm with animals and a house and tons of land, and we're going to build a house off the grid, a tiny house, and we're going to have so many investments. I can literally see the life that I want for my children, and I know that the things that I'm doing now will get me there. There's no doubt in my mind about it. No doubt. So regretting walking away from a 9 to 5 where I was making her, girl, I did the math one day. Ooh. And I was like making her like somewhat like $10,000 a day. And she was paying me like $70 some a day. Because when you think about it, those children, daycare's not cheap. And so if I have 20 children in my class and you're making $150 a head a week on these kids and you're paying me $10 an hour, I'm not slow. I know math. I know math.
I literally did this math last night. I couldn't sleep last night. I did this math. I sat down. I've been trying to figure out. I have multiple streams of income. I've been trying to figure out. I was like, so what do I have to make a day to make even close to what I'm making from my hourly position? And I did the math, and it was less than $100 a day. And I said,
literally, I'm telling you, I did that math, and I was like, you mean to tell me I was making $10 an hour, girl, $80? My minimum for my business every single day that I like to see myself making is $100 a day right now. $100. And you mean to tell me I was giving away 8 hours of my life? For
and then
$80?
And then people go, oh, but I'm tired when I come back home from work. That's what they want. So you don't pursue anything else. So you don't get bigger in what you're wanting to do. And people let themselves be in it. Don't act like I'm not. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not tired. I do have days off. Like I discussed earlier, I had a whole 6 months of depression and stopped working basically with my side hustles. And it's like, you have to push past that or you're going to be in the same position where years ago I've already lived it.
Yeah.
And I always try to remind people.
Do different.
Exactly. I always try to remind people of that. It's like, I'm telling you this way because I've seen it. Just like our older, how do you call it? When the older folks told us, don't do this, do that. I lived that life. Don't. Yep. And we ain't listen.
Yep.
And we got ourselves in trouble.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at you. Didn't I tell you? I've had people, I was like, didn't I tell you that was going to happen? I told you 6 months ago. But didn't you tell me you were going to do X, Y, and Z? That was a year ago. And look where you are. And I'm one of those people that I made a video, a blog post about that as well, is you have to love your small milestones.
Yes.
You have
Celebrate
to.
every small win.
Everyone. When I made 2 cents on YouTube, when I remember the day after I think it was before we went to the thing. One of my sisters asked me, she was like, "Oh, so have you made any money?" And I was like, "I made like $20 off one post." And I said to her, "But there's more to come."
Yeah,
I remember
absolutely.
that. And that's exactly what
Absolutely.
happened.
Because think of how many people in your life that you know that made $20 online. Not many. Not many people. Not many people that you know in your regular life have made $20 online.
True.
Because for one, people don't even know it exists, or
That
they're
part.
not willing to put the work in order to get it. So that $20 is everything. Everything. Because if you can make $1, you can make 1,000,000, okay?
Oh, that's true. I forgot where I saw that. That's so true. And I feel like I was stunting my growth too. Like we have to get out of that as well. Like law of attraction or whatever you want to call it. Sometimes we go, I can make $1 and that's all I can make is a
Yeah.
dollar.
Yeah. No,
And we
there's an
start
infinite source.
that part.
Infinite.
And it's
Infinite.
like when you get your mindset to realize that if you can make $1, you can make millions of. I was listening to something about Tony Robbins was stuck at 1 million for years and then was like, nah, this isn't right. I need to figure something out. And it's like he was making 1 million. How many people wouldn't love 1 million and be set for life?
Right.
He was
Right.
unhappy making several million. You know what I mean? And so it's like when we realize that you can expand and like you have to have the open mindset for that.
Yes, and it starts there first, because if you don't believe you can, you never will. You know? If you don't believe you can, you never
That's
will.
most people's problem. That's so many people's problem. And I tell them that it's like, or not tell them, but like I point it out, like you don't realize that you're just holding yourself. I did it for years. And I will always forever say this. I did it for years. I told myself I wasn't good enough. I told myself I couldn't do it because I didn't have such and such and such. I told myself I wasn't skilled enough. I wasn't smart enough for whatever it is I wanted to do. And one of my wake up calls, and I don't mean to bash anyone's sewing or whatever, but I would tell myself I'm not good enough. I need to go to school. I need to get this machine and da. And then one day I went on Instagram and a girl like ripped up some pants, cut up a shirt and made a 2-piece. And I don't mean to be rude, but like it wasn't great stitching. Someone paid her $80 for the set. And I dropped my phone. I was like, hold on, wait. I've been sewing since I was 5. I'm more skilled than she
Wow.
is, but she's the one making the money. And I'm the one sitting back being salty. Not salty at her. It wasn't that. It was just like, I really thought I wasn't good enough. But regardless, people would pay me. So why am I holding myself back? Because I told my mom never, and that's another, people tell people that oh, so-and-so told me, so I internalized it. My mom did nothing but support me. Until this day does nothing
Wow.
but support me. My husband does nothing but support me. What do you need? I have the microphone for my podcast because he was like, "Oh, you said you were." I literally was just like, "Oh, I'm going to do a podcast." But he know me. He's like, "Well, she said she's going to do it. She's going to do it." He bought it for me. I literally was like, so I have to I can't waste his money. I ain't finna waste
Yes.
his money.
Yes. Yes, honey. You better flip that
I
money. Yes.
that.
Yeah.
What you say? Flip it.
You better flip that, honey. Yes, honey. Honey, you
Oh
spent
my God.
$80. I'm gonna need you to make a couple hundred back.
That
Okay.
but he put the faith into me though, because he
Yes.
knew. So I remember laying in bed and when he told me he bought it, because it was supposed to be a Christmas present, and he came later. It came later and he told me he bought it, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't waste his money. What if my podcast the doubt set in?
Girl,
And I was
no.
like freaking out.
It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And
Yeah,
you're
it's
gonna
been doing so
keep
good
going.
so
You're gonna
far.
push through. And if you fall off, you're gonna get back on. That's
Oh,
it.
that part. That's what
Yes.
I'm doing today. That's
Yes.
what you're actually the first interview I've had in months.
Yes.
So
Let's go. Let's go.
yes, I love it. And
Period.
so when how do you like schedule out your day? You told me earlier, because I know you have your kids, and you floored me when you told me how many kids you had at the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I have
How
four
do
children.
How
Four.
do you do it? Because everybody told me, how do I do it? And I'm like, I got 2 kids. What I'm good. You said 4 kids, and I was like,
4 kids and single, girl.
oh, it's
Child.
hard with a significant other.
Yes,
What you
girl.
mean?
So my babies I have 5-year-old twin girls, a
Beautiful baby.
7-year-old son, and a 15-year-old who is extremely active in school. He does travel basketball and all that good stuff. So, this is the thing, and I tell people this all the time, so I have to say it to you. It's all just a decision. It's a decision. People decide that they want to work a 9 to 5, that they want to have a spouse with it, that they also want to, do all these other things that they want to do. And it's all just a decision to me. So I decided a long time ago the life that I wanted to live. And I knew that I wanted to run a business, operate on my own time schedule, and be an amazing mother, so I just decided that.
How you kill all of them goals so quickly and so well?
Listen, it's like whatever it takes to get that done, that's what I do, just like people figure it out how they're going to go to their 9 to 5 and get Billy to soccer practice and get home, cook their husband dinner. And it's just like that. It's a decision, and it's all about prioritizing and being focused and being disciplined on stuff. You know what I mean? And so I pretty much get up every single day, take my children to school. While they're at school, that's when I run my business. So I have 6 hours while they're at school to do the things that I need to do in my business. And a half of the year, I actually do banking from home. I'm a contractor for a major bank, which is what I was telling you. I was on a conference call before this. So the first half of the year, because it's tax time and it's a big time for us. And so the first half of the year, I do that. And I run my blog, and I'm a mom, and I take speaking engagements and so many other things, that 6 hours. Now this time of the year, I'm working the banking position, the contractor job, for that 6 hours. When my children get home, I don't do any work. I focus on them, period. It's me and my kids from 3 o'clock to about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I have a really strict schedule for them. 8 o'clock, Good. My kids go down, and from 8 to sometimes 2 in the morning.
Oh God, I know how that is.
I'm working my business because it's a decision that I made a long time ago, that this is the life that I want. This is what I want, just like people get up and go to their 9 to 5, So for me, it's just a matter of making the decision to live this life, just like you make the decision to live any other life, and you just make it work. Some days, your kids might eat cereal for dinner, and other days it's like you got it all together, so there's no such thing as a balance in this. It's simply prioritizing what needs to be prioritized in the moment, making it happen, deciding that you're going to be great, that you're going to live up to your potential, that you're going to get out here and pour into other women, and just live your best life. And that's what I've decided to do.
I love how you put it as a decision, because I read that in a book. I don't remember what book it was, but I did read that in the book, and it's true. Like, I did the same thing. I was like, one day I just woke up and I was like, people always, like I noticed that like certain things we always go, well, how do we do this? And I'm like, in this day and age where we have Google, I literally can ask me any question. I have Google in my tips of my fingers and stuff. And we're so like, how do I do this? So one day I just started looking up, what do I want to do? How can I get into it? And I just went with it. And now people are asking me, but I did the work.
Yes.
You have to do the work. You have to, you know what I mean?
You
just decide and figure it out.
You want to do. I'm like, well, you gotta. Girl, I just put up a video yesterday. Well, I've been doing this blogging series on my YouTube channel. And a girl posted there today, and she's like, "Oh, I want to do this, but I don't know what my first post should be about." Huh? Make it about whatever you want to make it about.
And that's what scares people. That's the problem, is all the options, because I remember being there in a certain way. For the longest time, I've wanted a podcast for the longest time. And I could not figure out what I wanted it to be about, because I didn't want it to be anything frivolous or just, whatever. And one day I was called to do a podcast, and I'm like, you know what? I've been wanting to do a podcast for the longest time. So I started looking into it and I figured it out, and I was like, you know what? What do I like to talk about? What do I want to learn more about?
Yep.
So I'm gonna take this.
Yep.
I always say to people, this is my selfish way to pick the brains and share. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we all need that, and I learned so much. And we, just that's why I set down my questions. And you were talking about speaking engagements, and I know I saw you and Tiffany go off to a speaking engagement. And how do you get those speaking engagements? How do you, or what? In what ways?
Well, now people literally just reach out to me. This past weekend, I was supposed to be speaking at Innovative Income, which I got sick at. I just got booked to speak at Mom 2.0 in Los Angeles in May. Yeah.
Goals.
Yeah. I'm speaking at Orlando Bloggers in March, talking about YouTube monetization. People literally just reach out to me, and I decide whether I want to do it or not. I spoke in Maryland at Type A Parent, formerly, it's Platt Street now. So I spoke there, and with those type of larger conferences, you have to pitch yourself. So you have to literally pitch yourself on what you want to do, and they decide whether they want you or not. Like Mom 2.0 is like one of the largest parenting conferences there is, and you had to submit to be a speaker. And this year they had a crazy number of applicants to apply to be a speaker. And this is my very first time even applying to be a speaker. And hey, they were like, hey, we like you. We'd love for you to come. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to LA.
That is beautiful. I've always wondered.
So people literally just reach out to you. That's why it's so important to make sure you're exposed, to, expose yourself, get exposure, put yourself out there,
yep.
Put videos out there, network with people. It's no such thing to me if you're trying to get these larger opportunities as being just a solo blogger. Networking is so important. It's so important. That's what gets you so many opportunities, and people don't realize it. So people will find me, or I'll pitch myself.
It's so funny. That's exactly what I started doing, because I don't think I haven't made the podcast for this yet. That's exactly what I ended up trying to figure out. How can I pitch myself? Where can I find where people want to actually give me products and let me do things for them? So I started reaching out to companies. Could you just give me more background on your various platforms and how you your various platforms and how you put yourself out there? I know you said you pitch to people, but how about your content? How do you push your content out?
I could definitely be better with pushing of my content. I'm so used to YouTube, where YouTube pushes your content for you. But some of the ways that I get myself out there is I use YouTube a lot, and Pinterest is a great place to push your blog content out. Instagram, I use stories a lot. And so people get really invested in your life when you use stories like that.
Guilty.
I cannot tell you the number of times I've heard, oh my God, I love to walk your kids to school in the morning. And I'm like, oh.
Can you not discuss our personal chats, please?
I promise you're not the only one to say that. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Or people see you and they say the things that are like, wow, you remember that? Like, it's so I use Instagram stories to go deeper with my audience. I think exposing yourself to new audiences is so important, but it's much more important to me to go deeper with the audience that I have. I can't think of who it is, but oh my gosh, it won't come to me, but it's this person, and people may know who I'm talking about. And he has this concept of having 1,000 true fans, that if you have 1,000 true fans, that you pretty much can make $1 million a year with your 1,000 true fans. And so I'm in the 1,000 true fans phase of my business. So for me,
True.
it's so much more important to go deeper and to establish a stronger connection with the people I do have, because I have 10,000 on Instagram, about I think almost 12,000 on YouTube. I got a couple thousand on Facebook. I got a couple thousand people that visit my blog each month, couple thousand people that visit. And so I'm like, of all these people that I'm already exposed to, what would happen if I would just make that connection deeper with 1,000 of them? My business could change. It literally could change. And so right now for 2020, the goal is not necessarily expansion, but depth.
It's funny because a lot of people, that's another way people hold themselves back. They go, oh, I don't have a following, or I can't get a following, or it's too hard. And it's like, when I posted a video, I haven't posted in months, and I post videos, and all of a sudden people are responding. People are, oh, where, and it's like, you're my supporters. You are the reasons I do this. You're the ones that care. I don't even say this, but most of the people that I am close with do not watch my content at all. They'll see my Instagram, but they don't watch my videos. They don't support them. Nothing. It's those people that are out there. Those 1,000, like you said, the 1,000 followers. Do you have any other projects in the works that you don't mind talking about or sharing? Oh, we should get into the happy dance. We ready for this.
I am super, super, super so excited. Trying my best not to reveal any plans that have not fully been put in place, but I'm really excited this year to meet a lot more of you in person. So I'm really working on meeting a lot more of you in person, let's say that. So I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to make the announcement about it. I know that it's going to be epic. It will be a space for us mama bosses to come together and truly help each other develop our business.
Perfect. You have been so patient with me. I'm so thankful.
Because I get it, and I just appreciate that you're out here doing it, I'm serious.
Stop, you're getting me all teary.
I just truly appreciate the fact that you're out here putting in the work.
Yeah, and you see how I put in the work, right? Twice.
So many people say they're about it and they're not. No, but listen, but you're making the effort. You know what I'm saying? When I first started, it was like, I want to do this, but I really didn't know how to be serious about it. I didn't know how to take it serious. I didn't realize how important certain things were. Whatever. You get it together, girl. It comes together. It comes together.
That's why I said, I was like, no, I don't want any more scheduling issues. This is so important to me. And I've been like, you know what I mean? It was so important to me. And I'm not going to keep, I want to post it. Like, I'm excited. I'm so glad I could talk to you and pick your brain. You told me about your projects. Like, that's so awesome. So going back to what I was talking about earlier, I just wanted to touch on with you, because you do have a much older child, maybe not with the little ones so much, but how do you, I know you've got him in everything. How do you teach him about entrepreneurship? Do you have him help you? Do you have him in programs? Like, how do you? Sounds like everything.
Listen, let me tell you. We have a concept around here, and it's that, a 9 to 5 is secondary. My oldest child wants to do something that probably 1 in a million people get to do, and so our fallback plan is entrepreneurship, and then he has to have a plan C. So around here, my 15-year-old is my photographer. People ask me all the time about my photos, and I'm like, listen, I do have a photographer, but when she can't shoot me, my 15-year-old is taking those pictures. He has to earn, his space in this family business. I'm like, listen, you reap the benefits of it. I need to show you, because this is a skill that you will be able to take with you to college and earn money. It will be a skill you can take further than college, and that will continuously be able to make you money.
There's so much money in it.
yeah, he helps me set up the camera for filming, and he does the photos and everything like that. And our recent venture, which you guys will get to see on the YouTube channel, we're doing a series on being resellers. So he has tons of shoes, tons of video game stuff, all that. And so we're going to be doing a series on the YouTube channel where he's going to be doing his first reselling project. So we're
And a platform.
yeah, we really have the shoe. I literally have all the shoes and stuff right here while I was doing the photos for him. So when he gets home, we can just start. We'll be showing him selling on Poshmark and Etsy. I mean, not Etsy, eBay and Poshmark.
I want to do eBay, yeah.
Yeah, eBay and Poshmark. We're going to do a project, a series, and we're literally just going to document our journey learning how to be resellers. We're going to go to the thrift store and try to find stuff and yard sales and all kinds of stuff like that. And our goal for him is going to be for him to make his first $500.
Oh, that's
yeah, yeah.
So tomorrow then.
Yeah,
very
so
good.
It's going to be an ongoing series until we get to his first $500. And so I'm super excited about that. He is not a front of the camera person, but I think it's really important for other moms, especially single moms, to see me instilling this entrepreneurship in him, even when he sometimes doesn't even realize it, because he doesn't even realize me showing him how to use the camera and teaching him how to do photos and how to catch the light and, you know, orientation and lenses and all this stuff. He's not realizing that that's what I'm teaching him. But when my friend, he went somewhere with me, I don't remember, and she was like, oh my God, like, honey, he knows how to get your angles. He knows how to, I'm like, listen, it just comes natural to him now because I've shown him so many times. He does it. It's just like clockwork to him. So
you show them young. I've been trying to, like, I mean, my oldest is only 10. Like, I'm trying to do similar things with her. And it's funny because my grandfather, I talk about him all the time. He's the first person I watched be an entrepreneur, and before the internet. Like, I got to get him on. We keep missing each other too. Like, I got to get him on. But when he had a embroidery shop, he was like always pushing me to do these things and showing me how to work things because he wanted me to take over. He thought I didn't pay attention, but it's just that I didn't pay attention to take that over. But I got everything else.
Yes.
I could tell you how to do this, and that.
That is my hope for my son, that he will see his mother out here hustling to get it, you know, out here grinding to build something for our family. You know what I'm saying? Hoping that this year, well, not this year, probably 2021, when I think about it, we can get our first family property, our first investment, our first rental property. And I'm really gonna have the kids help me with that. We're hoping to redo it ourselves. So I'm in the market. I haven't found anything
I
yet.
saw that post.
Yeah.
Yes.
So having my kids involved is a big deal to me. It's a big deal to me because I feel like, especially as African Americans, we're not taught about entrepreneurship enough. We're not. They just want to engrave that slave mentality on us over and over and over and over again. And I know that once we can get free in our minds and get that mindset out, that we're unstoppable, you know. And I want my kids to know how powerful they are, you know, and how they have their own future in their hands, and that through entrepreneurship they can do anything they want. Anything.
It's funny, you remind me of what my mom probably sounded like. She's had me reading all the books, and she was the same way. You know, mine is my own self-doubt, but she was the same way. And I tell people, I said, if it wasn't for my mom introducing this to me before the world could tell me it was wrong, and not allowing people around me to tell me it was wrong, it would have been so much harder for me. So I think that's another reason. It's like I had my own self-doubt with somebody that people wish they could even have a hand on. My mom has always, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. And it's like she pushed herself and I saw her doing it. Now that's all I know.
Yeah, exactly. I love that because I didn't have anybody. I didn't have it.
Most people do not.
Literally had to figure this stuff out myself, reprogram my own mind so late in life. Imagine if I had a mom like that was teaching me this stuff from a little kid. I want my kids to know this from a little kid. So it won't take any reworking of their mind to know that entrepreneurship, is the way. You know what I mean?
Are you doing anything with the little ones? Like anything similar? Do you expose them the same way? Because my mom used to take me to like meetings and stuff.
Oh, well, they know all about it. So
they are little.
He had a baby, just had a baby. My accountability partner, my friend, we would meet every Friday.
Tiffany, right?
Yes, Tiffany, to go over our goals and to do all that stuff. And absolutely, the girls have gone many, many times with me. And we sit and we go over our goals and stuff. The girls know, or my kids, I don't force them to do pictures and stuff like that, but they know what it's for. And I'm like, hey, we got to get this picture, or we got to do this video, or whatever it is. Because I do have things that they've had to do. Like we did the thing with Mattel, and we did the thing with Frozen 2 and Band-Aid, and so I've had projects that they've had to do, and they know what it's for. Like, this is for our family business. That's this.
Oh, I like the way you put that.
Yeah, this is not a one-man show.
I actually pay my kids. I tell them, like, when I get paid for a promotion and they're in it, like if they get free stuff or I'm not paid or something, I don't always pay them. But if I have money, I will pay them to be in my videos. And I tell them that because I was seeing that thing where you could like employ your kids.
Yep.
And I wanted my daughter to get a sense of income. And I've been having her read the books. I pay her to read the books. That was actually an incentive on by Jeff Rose to pay them. And I said, what is a better opportunity but to give them the money to work with what you just taught them in whatever form. And so I'm trying to push her to do she wants to be on YouTube. She has her YouTube channel and consistency and all that. And it's like my littlest one, I put her in exactly the same things that I do with her. One, because we go everywhere together. And two, I don't feel like if my mom exposed me to something that didn't click until I was 20 years old, but she exposed it to me so young that it just was all I know, then that's the same for her. She's going to see it, hear it, be around it, so that when she is my oldest daughter's age, it's all she knows already. There is no option for anything else.
Yes, exactly. Because my 7-year-old, he wants to be an entrepreneur, period.
Yes.
He wants to be an entrepreneur, period. And his best friend, mom is a blogger as well. Her name is Aseki, and our sons are best friends. And so him and his best friend, all they know is that their moms are entrepreneurs, that we're bloggers. And at 7 years old, he already knows that he wants to be an entrepreneur. And he will tell you flat, I'm going to have my own company. 7 years old.
When you say speak into existence, watch it happen.
Yes, he will tell you. People are like, wow, I'm going to have my own company. He will tell you straight like that. Now, my daughters, they don't fully comprehend,
a little, yeah.
Right now. Just like with him, like my son, like just like you said, I will give him money for, doing his chores or for taking a photo because he hates photos. But my daughters don't fully comprehend. They'd rather go to 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee or.
But see, this is the thing. The thing is that they're much younger than him, and he did exactly what I just said I wanted mine to do. He was the one that was there when he was too young to understand. They were babies.
Yes.
They were in your arms. They didn't know what the heck was going on regardless.
Yes.
So now when they become 7, 8, 9, it's going to be the same way. They're going to be like, this is all I know.
Yes.
My brother said it. My big brother said it. My mama does it. Her friend does it. That one. And then you surround them. The best part is you surround them with the same type of, you surround them. It's not like you go off.
Yeah.
You're like, nope, my kids and our kids and their kids. And that's how the tribe is supposed to be and work. And that's how you get powerful. Generational curse is broken. You become powerful together. Like, oh, I love to hear stuff. I always joke with my sisters. I have a lot of sisters. And I always joke with my sisters that I'm like, what's going on? Why are the Kardashians still bigger than us? What are we doing, guys? Because I have 5 sisters. That's how many of them is there, right? 5 of them? So I always tell them because the she's not the oldest, but the one that is the most, that's doing all the social media. I'm always like, hey, Kim.
Yes. Yes.
Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? How are we gonna make, like you said, family business? My dad is an entrepreneur. My dad was on my podcast. Like, I love that you're in, just surrounding them by that, because in their generation, they're still not used to seeing that, and it's very sad. It's crazy to me that, like, people, one, they can't break themselves, so it's hard for them to get to the children.
Yeah.
And I see it, and I'm just like, no, my kids will not be around that. My kids, I told my daughter, because we homeschool, I told her, I said, I'm gonna look into the ways to help you graduate from college during high school. And one of my
Yes.
sisters put herself through homeschool, and she told me, she's like, I wish I would have done that. So I sat her down and I said, listen, it's gonna sound hard, it's gonna sound overwhelming, but the thing is when you're 18 and you graduate with an AS or BS, whatever it is that you choose, I'm not gonna force you. I said, at minimum, I would like an AS. That's nothing. You can do
Yeah.
that in your sleep.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, that's easy. AA, whatever. And I said, but your friends are not going to know what they want to do in college, and you're going to be traveling the world.
yeah. Yeah.
You're going to have a degree already.
You know who is a good person for her to see? Her name is Mary Jane Byram on YouTube. Mary Jane Byram, and she was homeschooled almost all of her life. Was not really exposed to. She travels the world, and her goal is to visit every country in this world. And
I
she
I
her
didn't know
name,
she was homeschooled.
yeah. I just
I didn't know her last name. I know exactly who you're talking about.
talking about amazing skin. Oh gosh, hair.
She looks like a doggone Indonesian doll.
Yes, Mary Jane Byram. Yes, she
I
was
didn't know that was her.
homeschooled up until the 5th grade. Then she went to a very tiny private school in 6th grade, from 6th to 9th grade, where it was 10 kids in her class. And then she went to high school, and basically she hated it.
Yes, she
And
did. Yeah, she said
yeah,
that.
hated it. Went to college, but decided to
Hated.
drop out and
Oh,
travel.
I didn't realize I was watching a video she made a year ago about, she was saying that her siblings interchange with her on her trips, and she was explaining everything, and her 15-year-old little brother. I didn't know that was her name. I mean her last name, but I know exactly who you're talking about. I'm going to go binge on her channel now that you've told
I
me about
love
that.
watching her channel and how she's just fearless.
Yes.
Fearless.
Yeah, she said that. She said, people ask me if I fear traveling by myself. She's like, I have no fears. I don't know what that is. She's like,
I knows that God protects me.
obviously, you
Yeah.
over here making hundreds of thousands of dollars and traveling the world, because I'm sitting at home looking at you because I want to have a little dip in that pot.
Literally. Like,
my
I
toe.
don't care to be a full-time traveler, but I would love to travel more.
I wanna do what they call world schooling with my kids.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. Love that. That is amazing. Oh, I love that.
I want to make this remote money so that we can travel
Yes.
into these countries where we can live like queens and kings.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they want.
Yes, American money that is worth more over there. Yeah.
That's about everywhere you go.
Yes. Oh my God. But no, I love watching her because I love how fearless she is and how she just will go anywhere. And just like she says, my same concept with staying home. Traveling doesn't have to be expensive. It's just like
It doesn't.
on a shopping spree or a shopping trip. You can go to Forever 21 or you can go to Neiman Marcus. You know, it's just all in how you spend
how you freaking do it. Exactly.
Exactly.
What is your favorite content to consume to help you with the content that you create?
Ooh, business. I love business content. That's what I watch. I don't.
You're very left brain, aren't you?
Oh God, yes, very. I do not watch, to be honest with you, any other content. I don't watch family blogs. I don't watch beauty content. I don't watch. The only content I watch is business.
I'm normal. You made me feel so normal. I blame my mom. I'm going to blame my mom real quick, okay? Mom, why would you do this? My mom is a huge book nerd, worm, whatever you want to call it. She made me read these books. So when I got older, I was like, oh, let me read a book. What book am I going to pick up? The same book she had me reading. What content am I consume? The same stuff. And that's why it's this, you know what I mean? It's true. That's all I watch too.
Because I feel like it's because I'm obsessed with becoming successful. Obsessed. You know, it's like no other way for me. So it's like, I feel like the more knowledge I put into my head, that's the way I will operate. You know what I mean? That's how I don't care about baking no pie. I just don't. I don't care about watching you and your family live it up. I just don't. And I believe that creators create. You know, I really think that creators create. And sometimes when you consume more than you create, it can affect your creation process. You know, and I don't want to be tainted with other people's ideas and personalities and thoughts. I don't want to take on anybody else's persona. I want to be authentic always, in all ways. You know,
I like that.
I that's what I want, because I know that's what's going to draw my crowd, and find my people are going to find me. So I just truly believe that creators create, and when you create more than you consume, then you get better and you get better at it. And I feel like when you consume too much, it can truly kind of taint the authenticity of the content, because if you sit there and you listen to Cardi B say over and over and over again, you will probably eventually find yourself saying and it's just like
I do it for fun, but I tell people this all the time, and I'm like, they make fun of me because my husband likes to make fun of me because I like watching documentaries. I'm a huge nerd. I get it. I accept that. Okay, I like documentaries, and I like books and all that. And it's like I consume that stuff, and then people wonder why I talk the way I talk, and I'm like, but this is all I feed my brain. Yes, I do occasionally watch my makeup vlogs and my whatever.
Occasionally, if I'm trying something, yeah.
But I'm not gonna consume Kim Kardashian's whatever. Yeah, they're great. I love that. But let me go and do what not do what they were doing. But you know what I'm trying to say? The business end of that.
Yeah. When in my downtime, but for me, I rarely have downtime, because in my downtime, I'm plotting and scheming on how to get bags. Okay.
But it's just like that though.
I'm serious. I'm just like conceptual.
Your long-term plots and schemes. Let's elaborate on that.
Yeah. Not like plots and schemes on people, but plots and schemes on what's my next adventure, what's the next thing I'm going to do. You know, I'm always just like constantly like, how can I level up? That's my only concern, is leveling up. I don't have time to be focused on you. I just don't. You know, I'm sorry.
I love it, because that's literally my brain. Like I told you, people are sick of me. Everything is like, oh, but you can sell that. Oh, but you can monetize that. Oh, how can I do that? Oh, I can monetize me breathing right now. Oh,
yep, literally. People are like, oh, girl, did you see that? No, I didn't see that.
People make fun of me because I didn't watch GOT and I don't know anything about pop culture. And I'm sitting here like, but guess what I learned about investing today?
Right. And you know, but this is the thing, I know about it. I do. I just don't spend my time on it or consuming it or anything like that. I just don't care to. Because I'm too busy trying to get out, you know, make it out of middle class up to upper class, you know. I'm too busy making it into wealth. You know, that's my focus. I'm trying to be wealthy.
How are we getting into that? I love that, getting into wealth.
Not just me, like we're good, we're eating, we have a roof over our head, but I'm trying to build some wealth that my kids can see.
That's another thing, that generational curses a lot of times. And I love how you took something that most Black families hold, and they're like, oh, shoes are so important. Yeah, he got some fancy shoes, but how are we gonna make money back on them?
Thank you. That's exactly why
That's how I am. That's how I am. How can we make money? How can we, what you said earlier, make that ROI, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we need a return. We spent whatever, $65, probably more, on it. Let's at least get 30 back off of it, you know?
Watch Jeff Rose. I'm sorry to cut you off on that note. Jeff Rose did similar, and he has two or three boys, and he does the same thing, and he's having them do similar with the selling of the shoes. But I'm sorry, go on.
Really? Oh, no, yeah. It's like, let's at least get $30 back on it, and let's film it and put it on YouTube and let this passive money roll in. Okay.
Hey, throw in an Amazon link for it.
Oh, trust me, I will, on the packaging supplies that we use. Girl, I already got
on the shoes too. On the shoes too.
Yeah, but see, I don't know if some of them might be old. I see what you're saying. If they want to get them new, I didn't think of that, girl. I didn't think of
I
that.
got you, girl.
I
I
didn't
got
think
you.
because my audience is so business minded. I was like, maybe they don't care about the shoes, but
You will be surprised when you put it on there. You will be surprised because the man that I'm talking about, I don't even know how old he is, but he's an older gentleman with 3, 4 kids, and they're like millionaires or whatever. He was a CPA or something like that. I can't remember, but he always shares ways to make money. His biggest thing is shoes. He
yeah,
was the reason why I even heard about this app to buy shoes back and forth. Like you can buy it from the company for cheap, but you have to it's like an eBay for shoes, and then you flip the shoe.
that's what I want to get my son into, which is why we're doing this. I would love to get him into because I want him to monetize his passions, and he absolutely loves basketball and shoes. Like that's what he loves. And so he's not a front of the camera type of person though,
Yep.
but it still doesn't mean that he can't have a business where he doesn't have to be, face to face. He could do eBay. He could do Poshmark. He could, you know what I'm saying? He could technically do a TikTok and
Oh yeah, those are getting
be
bigger.
yeah, and be showing. So I want to get something that is low key to where he doesn't have to be so like his
And
mom and out in front of a camera, but he still can build a business that's going to make him money. So I have been looking for some, shoe information for my kids.
So I can one, I mean, I don't know about shoes per se, but if you want to look into clothes, if you go, are you in Tampa or in Orlando? Oh, perfect. So on OBT, there is a gigantic Goodwill. There is a clearance section of the Goodwill, and what they do is they sell the clothes for a little over $1 a pound. The shoes are $2
It's
a
in North
shoe.
Florida Mall.
Yes. It's before you get to it when you get off on what is that, exit 80? When you get off on exit 80, there's it's like 2, 3 miles from exit 80. It's a
It's Sand
huge
Lake and OBT, right?
before you get to Sand Lake.
Okay.
But it's on OBT before you get to Sand Lake, but you're in the right direction. They have things for $1 a pound. And in that area, a lot of people are more fashionable with certain things. And I used to work by the Walmart over there. And I actually used to go there every weekend, every day, work week or whatever. And go shop in there. I'd come back with a trash bag full of clothes, or like a huge bag full of clothes, $10. So that way you could flip your money and it's almost straight profit.
I would love to. And so this is kind of the reasoning behind us starting this series. Because, like I said, I want to get my son started into some. So if we could start this side business of Poshmarking or doing eBay, because I actually have him following this guy on Instagram that does eBay. And then I just found this girl who's like making 7 figures from Poshmark, and I've been consuming her videos. I'm talking binging her videos, and her number one seller is shoes.
Go figure. Because guess
Yeah,
what? You never grow out of them no matter how much weight you gain.
that's what I'm saying. Girl, I got to get this. I'm telling you, this man.
People, I, I, s- I, saw, one of my favorite YouTubers, I put that out because she is Patricia Bright. She's a British
I
woman.
love her.
Okay, so you
Girl,
already know why I love.
with her having the baby was
Yes.
so free.
She was like, I can't fit this clothes. I can't go shopping for clothes, but shoes and purses.
Right, I
Oh,
love her.
she's my
I love
favorite.
her. Yeah,
And
I
she
love
has have you seen her
the new break room. The break.
the break, and she has a podcast. I was like, when did this happen?
Yes,
When did I miss
just like
this?
2-3 weeks ago. That's what I'm in the process too. I didn't want to put it out there, but yeah, I'm in the process too. So I will be reaching out to you for an interview, girl.
I would be honored.
Oh,
I
girl.
would be honored. I was actually going to ask you. That was one of the things I was going to ask you if I could get it all the way now. Because, I'm going to put you on the spot real quick. Can I do another interview when y'all, in a few months when y'all get the Poshmark thing going? I want to have a series on my podcast where I speak to children. I have my daughter read books about other children starting businesses. And I like to see how the parents, you know what I mean? But from a kid's point of view.
Yes.
And I haven't been able to do that yet.
Yes.
And I would
Oh,
love
that's a
to.
good idea. That's a
Yeah,
great idea. That's a great. I'm excited. Like I literally have all the shoes lined up here now. I was just telling Tiffany, I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, all the photos. Like I don't know. I'm literally learning this, and so I love the idea of documenting this process that I have. I'm not familiar with at all. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And
We
I
all
just
started
love
there.
the idea of documenting that to see so that other people can just watch me build something from scratch. You know what I mean? Because oftentimes people are afraid or intimidated. Like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing in
I
this.
was one of those people.
You know, so it's like I love the idea of documenting this process. So yeah, absolutely. And trust me, I'm gonna be over there. If this goes well, because right now we're just reselling the things we have in the house,
Have it
we're cleared out
starting
everything.
with what you have. I love it.
Yes. And so if this goes well, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I know they have like a half off day or something or 30.
But that's in the actual Goodwill itself. I'm talking about the clearance that you want to. It won't come up on the GPS, but if you type in the Goodwill, whatever Goodwill it takes you to, because they kept moving it. It was like there was a Kmart, they moved it to there, then made a bigger one and moved it across the street now. So it's like 2 miles on that side, and it's the clearance section. And almost every state has one, or you have one within a few miles of every state. But I know exactly where the one is in Orlando. That's why I wanted to tell you that. And that is my favorite one to go to because it is the largest one I've been to. And everybody over there has more of the up to date styles with stuff. So I've gotten most of my closet stuff from there. And it's just like, you know what I mean?
Oh, girl, I'm
You're going to
excited.
be good.
I'm excited because I see this as being something that my son can run, you know, because I have other things that I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can bring him in on this because I have a lot of stuff going on this year that I just really don't want to put out there yet
No problem.
because it's not ready. I feel like when I speak on it, I'm going to be able to send you a link to it. Okay.
Ooh, I
So I
like that.
have those things in the works that I'm going to be working on, but I truly, truly want to get something going that can be his.
And less work for you to actually take care of.
Yeah, I'm okay with us going to source out products, going to garage sales, going to the Goodwill, you know, but he's going to need to take the pictures and, you know, list the stuff and learn like, and he doesn't have to be on nobody's camera and do all that. So it's the perfect thing for him.
I
Perfect.
love that. I wish him all like the best
Thank
with that because that is going to be powerful. And I always tell people use the resources that we're giving nowadays because growing up, we didn't have none of this. We didn't even have phones. We barely had beep. Like I didn't have no beeper. I was a child when beepers came out. But I wanted a two-way. We were watching Plow Family. This girl was talking about my two-way. I was like, I wanted a two-way. But we have all this stuff to our advantage. We have Google. I can grow my phone, my computer, all these things. Ask Alexa, all this stuff, and we don't use it. And we have to use it. Put it out there because my grandfather. When I have the podcast of my grandfather starting before the internet, those type of people blow my mind.
you. Yeah.
He supported a whole family without ever stepping foot in front of a camera, without ever having to be on internet. There was no internet yet. There wasn't a thing yet. And he made it happen several times over. So it's like, why are we having excuses? Why do you have excuses?
No excuse. It shouldn't be any excuse from any of us.
Imagine what my grandfather could have done if he had the internet then. I just can't. Well, anyway, I want to know, do you have any words of wisdom for people like what, in a short, because I know this is actually what you do is give people words of wisdom. What is like the shortened version for people out there that, we didn't put that fire under their heinies?
Ooh, child. I just most of all want to say you first of all just decide on what you want your life to look like. If you are in a season right now where things just are not going the way that you would want them to go, really take assessment of the life that you are currently living. Who do you need to get rid of? What do you need to change in your life? What do you need to stop doing? You need to put yourself around new people in new situations and new circumstances and really change that energy up that's going on around you. And when you do that, start feeding your mind positivity. Get off the shade room. Find you some different pages to go and look at. Look up motivational messages. Eric Thomas is amazing. Oh my gosh. Gary V, if you're a business person.
I actually got to see him recently in a convention. I actually got to see Gary V.
Really? Like find some people to just really put positivity back into your mind and just make the choice to be better. That is always my thing. When I wake up every day, the goal is to be better than I was on yesterday. And if you are looking around and your life is not looking the way you want it to look,
Change
it's
it.
time for you to take an assessment of yourself and everything around you and make the changes that you need to make. It's simply a decision. It's simply a decision. If you're in a job you hate, a relationship you hate, if you're whatever, it's literally all just a decision. And we are grown-ups who get the opportunity to make that decision to do better. There's nobody, you're not stuck. You're not ever stuck in a situation. I can't stand to hear people say that. It's simply you're one decision away from the life that you truly want to live. I'm telling you now, nobody is coming to pick you up. So you better get yourself up and do what you got to do for you and your family. Period.
I love that. That was strong. That's going on the little mini video right there. I like that. I like that. When is the book coming out? Can I speak a book into existence? I've already purchased it. I've pre-ordered it on Amazon already.
That thing into existence. I ran so long from what I'm really supposed to be doing until last year. I had the opportunity to truly get up and do it, which is speaking and writing. And finally, I'm ready to walk into that and take on more speaking engagements and do more events on my own that will allow me to speak into women and truly create these personal connections with them and be hands-on with these women. Because for me, this is not about a social media platform at all. It's not at all. This is about truly my life's purpose, of affecting change in women who are seen as counted out. You
True.
know, I've been counted out several times for so many reasons in my life. But for me, it's so important to let these women know that you're not ever counted out, ever, unless you count yourself out,
Because you made your own way, exactly.
Absolutely. And just like you got yourself in a situation, you can absolutely get yourself out of it. It's all just about one decision. We're all one decision away
I
from
love that.
a new life and a
You,
new opportunity to create something better than.
that's going on my vision board. That decision thing. I love the way you say that. The decision. What do I decide to do today? I got up or did this, did that. That made the change in my life later on down the line. So, or fit, that little bit helped me down the line. So I love that, the decision part. It just gets me every
Literally,
time.
you can decide to sit and do nothing and sulk and feel sorry for yourself, or you can decide to be an overcomer. You can decide to get up and change your life. It's all a decision. You're one decision away from creating a new situation for yourself, because I did it. I know I did it.
The
I know.
living proof. I'm glad I got to start the year off with this interview, and you've breathed nothing but life and positivity into me right now, and you've got fire, even more fire under me right now, and I really appreciate you. Can you tell my listeners, where can we find you, Nakisha? Like, where can we come bother you and give you our money?
You can find me at NakishaWynn.com, at Nakisha Wynn, everywhere on social, because I think that if they can find you, they can pay you. And it's
When's the
true.
shirt coming out? Can I get that on a shirt?
People get so confused. Like, you can't be Nakisha Wynn on this platform, the boss babe on this platform. Tell it like it is on this platform. Honey, they need to know how to find you. Because if they can find you, they can pay you.
That's not copywritten or anything, right? Because I need to go get that on a shirt real quick. I'll be right back.
It's
Right?
true. They need
I
to know
love it.
in order to pay
I
you. I
love it.
never want it to be no confusion over here, okay? At Nakisha
None.
everywhere.
I love it. And that website name. That is beautiful. Thank you so much, Nakisha, for all of this. Thank you for taking time out of your life. Busy life. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, girl.
And I can't wait to talk to you on your podcast. I can't wait to see how your son is doing with his stuff. And wait till our next podcast interview.
All right, now I'm off to go get these babies. It's 3:00. Let's go.
Awesome sauce. You have a good day, Nakisha.
Thank you, girl, so much. I appreciate you for real. And I'm going to be reaching out for the podcast. I'm getting it together now, and I'm hoping to have it launched in February.
Beautiful. Oh, yeah, I'm here for it.
Yes, perfect. No, I'm going to reach out to you, so be ready.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for listening to the Raising Bosses podcast. I hope you enjoyed, and please tell your friends and family. Go ahead and share this podcast on social media. If you or someone you know would like to be a part of this podcast, please email us at raisingbosses@gmail.com, or you could DM us on all our social medias, our Raising Bosses on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you and goodbye.